Hello everybody who's there in the Zoom call. My name is Anna, and I'm right here in Taipei in Taiwan, all the way from Ukraine, came here. And I'm here to introduce myself briefly, I think, and give you a little glimpse on what we do in CMA and also why I came to Taiwan and what did I experience here. So, in terms of brief introduction, I'm 21 years old, and I'm a sixth-year medical student. This is my final year of studies, and I got this year a master's degree in pharmacy. I did my master's project in clinical pharmacy about anticoagulation in elderly, and I'm really passionate about pharmacy as well. And a little bit later, you will understand why I'm doing both. I'm also an assistant in a Christian Medical Association in Ukraine in the EduCare project, and I'm a member of the Ukrainian Medical Student Association, and so much more, but that's just the details. So this is my family. I have my mom, dad, and my older brother. My dad is dermatologist and dermato-oncologist. My mom is a pharmacist, and they both wanted me to be a doctor and a pharmacist. So I could not say no to them because I love and respect them very much. So I did both. In Ukraine, it was possible to do both degrees at the same time up until a few years ago. So I tried that and it worked. And my older brother is a second-year resident. He's currently in general surgery, but he wants to be a colorectal, and I believe he will do that. And I love him very much. He's very smart. And in the middle left corner, you can see my picture in my mom's pharmacy from like 2007, I think. So I think I was destined to be a master of pharmacy. I did not know much about Taiwan up until 1 year ago when I saw a post on Facebook from Christian Medical Association that they were looking for volunteer interpreters for Taiwanese mission. And I decided to sign up for a few days in my hometown, but they also asked me if I could help with more for a few weeks, and I chose to skip my classes a little bit and take time interpreting for this good deed. And I'm very happy that I did so because I met so many wonderful people. In this slide, you can see that we worked with the Northern American Taiwanese Medical Association. We worked in the Ringa region, and we did mobile clinics and some surgical consulting and support there. And it was a very interesting 1 week. It was my first time working with foreigners that are not from the United States, but from United States with Taiwanese background or directly from Taiwan. I was introduced to what is Taiwan, where it is, and it was really interesting and educating for me. And the next mission was also volunteering, interpreting for doctors and nurses from Mackay Memorial Hospital. It was also in September 2023, sorry, it's 2024. But we were teaching focus and fast skills and also doing mobile clinics in Central and West Ukraine. And that's how I met people who I can call friends now. Those are Crystal, those are Dr. Tsai, Abby, and Liao, and so many more people that I'm proud to know. And this was how I was introduced to Taiwan. And doctors from here really inspired me. So also, I got employed in CMA after doing this volunteering. I guess they liked my English. So I work in the EduCare project, which is mainly focused on organizing observerships for Ukrainian doctors abroad and bringing and helping, supporting medical missions with foreign doctors into Ukraine. As of today, 51 Ukrainian doctors have taken part in observerships in the United States, in the United Kingdom, and now also in Taiwan, also in Sweden. And more than 300 patients were treated only with our surgical missions from the United States or Taiwan coming to Ukraine. And so many more were treated with through mobile clinics. And mobile clinics are very often organized by Taiwanese doctors, which I'm really inspired by. And in these pictures, you can see all our activities, and the lower right corner is our picture from June. Also, there are pictures of our doctors. They're currently finishing their observership in Mackey Memorial Hospital, and other doctors that came to us and helped us with mobile clinics and surgical relief for burned and military wounded patients. Yes, more pictures of what I do, and I don't really do this work directly, but I mostly organize like logistics, communications, and all little things that are staying behind the scenes. But I hope I'm really helpful in this job. So why did I choose Taiwan? A very frequent question I'm getting. In October 2023, I also got involved in a Ukrainian Medical Student Association, and I am currently there in a committee of medical education. I'm teaching English and some basic medical skills like first aid or BLS. And I got an opportunity to go on a student exchange for 4 weeks. And we had a list of countries from Canada to Germany, Brazil to Thailand. And one of those countries was Taiwan. And this is the first year and the only contract we have with Taiwan at this point. Because most countries will have like 4 spots, 2 spots so you can go with Ukrainian friends. But I chose to go here to come to Taiwan because I recently met Taiwanese doctors and they were wonderful people. And I got really inspired, and I realized that I can go to Taiwan not just for an excellent medical observership, but also to experience the culture and learn something new for myself and, broaden the horizons. So I didn't think about that much longer. I chose Taiwan, although I was asking my brother, what should I choose? But his answer was like, you already know, you're going to Taiwan. So I came to Taiwan. It was a long year. And one of the culture shock I had here was Taiwanese hospitality. Everybody is extremely friendly, very kind to me. These pictures are the students that I've met in NCKU hospital. They were really kind to me, and also our doctors from Mackey Memorial Hospital. There is Belle in the top right corner, and there is Dr. Max from the emergency room. A very funny but also kind soul. And everybody was treating me like an equal, but also explaining to me everything that I didn't know, and very, very often asking me if I'm not hungry and if I want to eat and I should go eat and please eat. And the next culture shock is the cuisine. And the way Taiwanese people treat food, it's a very important part of their life. This was very, not weird, but I did not expect to experience that how much people love food and how much different food is there. And in those pictures, there are all the things I ate in Taipei mostly, delicious stuff, and then more food. One of those was stinky tofu. I had to try that. I didn't like that. Sorry, but I had to try it. Other than stinky tofu, everything was delicious. The hot pot, the breakfast foods, the barbecues, all types of noodles and breakfast burgers. Amazing, just amazing. What can I say? I want to bring that to Ukraine, but I cannot, unfortunately. Also, medical education. It was indeed a culture shock to see. At first, I was asked, like, what are you going to do after you graduate? And I said, go into residency. And people didn't understand me, and I could not understand why. It turns out that in Taiwan, you have postgraduate years, 2 years of postgraduate works or studies, which we don't have in Ukraine, and also like all 6 years in Ukraine, we're mostly spending in the university. Sometimes we go to classes in the hospital, but we don't get to see many patients. many patients don't want to be examined or asked or looked at. Many doctors are not interested in teaching us or bringing us to the patient because basically their job is just to give us a grade. Every class, we have a certain topic that we have to learn before the class begins. And during the class, we're getting tests or questions that we have to answer. And then we get our grade, like ABC. But in Ukraine, it's 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 is the best, 2 is not passed. You just have to get all 5s, and nobody really cares about practical points. So everything is very theoretical. And only if you're lucky and your professor is kind and more modern, they will more likely show you something or teach you some practical skill. So it was shocking to me to see that year 5 and year 6 here are spent mostly in the hospital, and especially in emergency department. The student that I was with, Frank, he was doing a lot of practical work that in Ukraine would be done by residents and doctors only, which provides you with a lot of experience during school. And then you also go into postgraduate years and you just work in the hospital, which is amazing because I feel like in Ukraine it is just too fast. And I got to see everything. I was invited to every morning meeting where we would revise some difficult cases or see the new cases that got into hospital during the night shift. Also, everybody would be constantly studying, but not like in an academic way, but everybody, the nurses, the doctors, residents, and postgraduate years students, and just medical students, the clerks, they would always be present at the meetings, discussing some new trials or some clinical case studies or some just inviting. There was a few times doctors from Taipei invited to Thailand to give a lecture on some topic, and everybody was really attentive. And it is amazing that you really pay attention to even the staff, constant education. And I was treated very nicely in that hospital, and also other 2 exchange students that are in the lower row. We are with the chairman of the medical faculty of the NCGU. Everybody was really kind to us, and even though the language barrier is there, it was really nice, really, really nice. And the simulation room that you see in the upper corner that will record you how you perform during the 10 minutes. It was amazing, although my patient died. We didn't get to save his life because we had some problems with the intubation and oxygenation. But it is amazing that we did that because I will remember that for the rest of my life, what I have to do with the ambulance bag and how to intubate a patient. So I will never repeat that. Healthcare system itself. It was, yes, the top picture is us at the disaster medicine training, which was also provided by NCKU and I think that was a Ministry of Defense and the Geneva Hospital, University Hospital of Geneva, something like that. So it's really nice to see that you keep paying attention to your doctor's education and up-to-date knowledge. I also got to visit the Taiwanese Brain Association conference, which was very amazing, and I met plenty of beautiful people there. Another culture shock in this healthcare system was emergency room abused by the patients. In the lower right corner, you can see it's the TV screen in the emergency room, like central station. And I believe it shows 87 beds are occupied, and that's like 113%. And I asked, what is the percentage that? And they were like, we only have 70 beds in the emergency room, but 87 are occupied. So we are 113% occupied. And also you can see there the amount of days the patient would stay, like a median amount, which is going to be like 4 days, 14 hours. Never happens in Ukraine. Very interesting. But also at the same time, every nurse, resident, doctor was very patient and kind to their patients. which would never happen in Ukraine. Another interesting thing that I saw was age of patients. So they were predominantly over 50. In the bottom left picture, the ones that are underlined in green are patients under 50. So there are like 5 of them out of general pool of patients that moment. And also you will give a warning that the patient has highly infectious disease like HIV or hepatitis B, which is very wise in my opinion. And in Ukraine, we are technically not allowed to do that because that might cause some prejudice from personnel, from the staff, which I think is also not totally true. But your system is very interesting though, because you can do everything with one computer and you can order some tests and the nurses will receive that immediately. And those yellow clipboards in the emergency room work very efficiently. Very smart, I want to say. Similarities in history. Ukraine and Taiwan are very, very far from each other, and we have different backgrounds. But when I visited the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall, at first I did not understand what is that memorial and who is the Chiang Kai-shek and why did he has this huge building in the middle of the city built for him. I assumed at first that he must be some great guy, like Dalai Lama or something. Apparently not. And it also, this was pretty similar. So it is, I did not expect to see that how horrible and villainous regimes can be so far apart, but still acting so same with killing innocent people, with kidnapping people and trying to hide all that. And then also the brave individuals who choose to protest, although it's painful for them, sometimes it's deadly for them, it hurts their families, but they understand that well-beings of the nation sometimes is beyond well-being of an individual. And after they do that, they remain in the history for the eternity. And so yes, many different people, both in Taiwanese and Ukrainian history, but the background and the story in general and the lesson that you learn is still pretty similar. Then there is going to be a dictator who's going to try to kill you, to bully you, to suppress you. But if you stand up, even as an individual, you know, the right will always win. Also within Christian Medical Association in Ukraine, we have our burn project, which is called Burn Care Alliance. And this is very important right now because it is supported by Taiwanese government. And it is also very important because more than 6,000 people suffered burns each year in Ukraine before the beginning of the full-scale invasion of Russia. But the war has led to a significant increase of burn injuries caused by shellings, explosions, and fires. And you can see that both in military personnel as well as in civilians because of the constant rocket attacks on our cities. Especially, I think the last one in my city was September 4th when I was already in Taiwan. And that was pretty scary to see that even in such a because every time when you ask me where I'm from, I say it's Lviv, it's safe city, but many people died that night. And I say night because Russia usually shoots rocket during the night when everybody's sleeping. So a beautiful family that I know were killed in their house and only father survived. And many more people got wounded and mostly with burns and explosion wounds. So yes, burn care is very important, yet situation with burn care was in dire straits in Ukraine. But because of the Burn Care Alliance project and other projects like that and supported by foreign governments and doctors, we are now advancing in this care for our patients, and we are now getting more supplies, and not just supplies, but also skills to teach for our surgeons how to take proper care of their patients. And as of today, we in the CMA and our burn project, we are having a long-term cooperation with the hospitals in 5 cities in Ukraine. In the Western region, there are 3. There are Irpin, Lviv, and Vinnytsia. And Lviv Hospital it's like a big medical union, which is currently around 2,300 beds. And they have 2 burn centers, one for pediatric hospital and one in adult hospital that mostly treats military soldiers, and one in central and eastern regions, so in Dnipro and Kharkiv. And Kharkiv, although it's currently being is being targeted by Russian avia bombs and rockets on a daily basis. There's explosion and damage every day, but they still keep going strong, and they are very passionate about this burn project. So it's very important for us. And here are the 2 of the latest cases of the little patients that were treated with through this project, especially with the BTM coating that was provided to us from thanks to Taiwanese funding. So this is Anna, or Anichka. This is a kinder name in Ukrainian. This is basically a burn that she got at home when she went to a bath at home, and she turned on the tap with boiling hot water. It's poured on her legs, on her feet, and it was severely damaged. So she got treatment. I believe she's from Odessa, so she got treatment in her own city hospital, but they could not do it very well. So she was transferred to our burn department in Lviv, and they performed 7 operations for the affected area. Although a few toes on one leg had to be amputated, the rest of it is currently going on very well thanks to the BTM coaching, which is very pricey, but we can do that because of Taiwanese support, so she can have better quality of life in the future. And another patient is Svetoslav, or Sviat. During birth, he was giving a medicine to prevent lack of sugar in the blood, so hypoglycemia. But there was adverse drug reaction, and it caused massive swelling of his left arm when he was just a newborn. It led to necrosis, and he could potentially lose his upper limb. But doctors could save that, although he had massive scarring and a contracture on his arm. So years went by. He had little function in that arm. And we got him to another few surgeries in St. Nicholas Hospital in Lviv. And thanks to BTM coating, we kind of made his upper extremity more free. So in the future, he will be able to gain more function in this arm and have a proper life. And, And I think, the National Burn Fellowship is kind of a sub-project in our burn project. So we are trying to start some observerships with Ukrainian burn surgeons that are a part of hospitals that are cooperating with us. And we are making exchanges within the hospitals. So the last one, the first one, and currently the last one, the latest, happened in September 23rd to 27th. Burn surgeons from Vinnytsia came to Lviv trauma and burn center to get training and have discussions about their patients and what can they do, how to treat them better, and how to use advanced technologies, because Lviv was one of the first cities to start using BTM. And now we can have a better network of plastic surgeons and burn surgeons working together and sharing their experience instead of just keeping it to themselves. And the next step in this fellowship will be observership in Taiwan, which I believe will take place by the end of this autumn. And
October 14 to 25.
Oh, yes. Yes. Regina asked me to help with this project now, so I will do that too. And these are the pictures of this fellowship. It was a short one, but doctors could observe the surgeries and how each of them does a certain surgery, what opinions they have on those, and one of the patients that was operated during that period of time. And that's it. Thank you. 谢谢.